Hannah, and thanks for joining us again. Joseph's story has been really building up into something special, and I can't wait to see what happens next. But first, y'all know the drill. Let's start with worship. Everybody, on your feet!
We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. When I'm having a bad day, things aren't going my way, I know that God is with me. He's still there, He never leaves. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. I know that I can love you because you show me the way. Nothing can separate me from your love. You are for us. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. You work for our good. You work for our good. You work for our good because you love us. You love us. You work for our good. You work for our good. You work for our good because you love us. You love us. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him.
Welcome to game time. This time, we're gonna be playing a game called Ping Pong Cup Challenge, okay? Need some cups right here. You're gonna place them on a table, okay? Let's start with one, and we're gonna have 6 ping pong balls. And the goal is for you to maybe bounce it into the cup right here, okay? So I'm gonna start, we're gonna go, and let's see if we get one, okay? Let's see. Not even close. Not good at all, okay? Let's maybe add a couple, you know? Let's do 3. Let's do 3. How about that, huh? So you got 3 cups. Let's see if we can get, oh, buckets. Here we go, another one. Oh, that was close, okay? One more. Oh, I'm gonna add a couple more. Here we go. That one's already made, drained that full. Another one in here. Now we got 6 cups, okay? 2 more balls. Here we go. 2, oh, it doesn't count. Wah wah. But, you see the idea. Get 6 ping pong balls. Try to make at least 3. You guys could have fun with it at home. Maybe get your mom, get your dad, get a brother, sister. Try to make the ping pong cup challenge your own.
Well, hello there, friends. It's me, your good old pal Allison, and I'm here for, that's right, the memory verse. And this week is super fun because we learned the first part of Romans 8:28 last week. But this week, we're learning the second part. And then, yeah, we're gonna put them all together and see if we can do them, how many times, guys? 2 times in a row, that's right. Okay, so, just in case you haven't been practicing or you weren't able to watch last week's video, we're gonna run over Romans 8:28a together a few times so we can refresh our memories a little bit, okay? You guys with me? Amazing. Okay, so this is what it looked like. Romans 8:28a. We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. Do you guys remember it? Okay, let's run it over one more time just so we can be sure that we have it all together, okay? Here we go. Romans 8:28a. We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. Beautiful job, guys. Okay, now that we have A, we're gonna learn B. Let's break it down together and do it, but it looks like this. Romans 8:28b. He appointed them to be saved in keeping with His purpose. Looks pretty fun, huh? Saved is my favorite part. I can't wait till we get there. Okay, but for the first part, on our last verse, we stopped with pointing to God. So we're just gonna keep our finger pointing to Him because we're talking about Him again. So let's try it together. He, and then we're gonna say appointed them. Can you guys do that with me? We're gonna take both of our hands and touch our shoulder. We're gonna tap it. Tap your shoulder. Let's try those together. He appointed. Good job. Then for the next part, we're gonna point to them, just like we learned last week. So let's try those together. He appointed them. Beautiful job. And then this next part is my favorite part. We're gonna say to be saved, okay? So act like you're out in the middle of water and you're trying to get somebody to save you, okay? Let's try it together. To be saved. Great job. I better see all those arms in the air, waving them, okay? Let's try all of that together. He appointed them to be saved. Great job, guys. Okay, then for our last part, it goes like this. In keeping with His purpose. Good job. Try it one more time. In keeping with His purpose. And then for His, we're pointing to our brain because we are talking about God, but we're talking about what He's thinking about. So we're going to point to our brains, okay? And then for purpose, we're gonna take our flat hand in front of us, and with our 2 fingers, we're gonna open them up and tap in a circle twice. Can you do it with me? In keeping with His purpose. Beautiful job. One more time. In keeping with His purpose. Amazing. Okay, so now that we learned B and we went over A again, do you guys think that we can put them both together and do them, I don't know, 2 times in a row? All right, sounds pretty fun. For our first time, we're gonna slow it down and do it pretty slow together. But then for the second time, we're gonna see if we can do it normal speed, okay? You guys ready? Okay, let's shake it off, make sure there's room around you, because this is gonna be pretty amazing, okay? Here we go. Romans 8:28. We know in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. He appointed them to be saved in keeping with His purpose. Woohoo! Okay, that was one time. All right, You guys ready for the second time? I know I am. Okay, here we go. Romans 8:28. We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. He appointed them to be saved in keeping with his purpose. Oh my goodness, you guys did so well. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see you guys next week. Remember, show all your friends and family what you learned today, because they're gonna think it's pretty amazing. I'll see you guys next week.
Hey, Allie.
Hi, Andy. What's up?
Well, I was thinking I'd like to do something fun with our friends this Friday. How about a movie night? I know the news said it might rain, but maybe it won't.
That sounds great, but this Friday won't work.
How come?
Don't you remember? It's the day we both promised to help Miss Marino clean up her garden.
Yeah, I remember, but that's not gonna take all day.
But she wants to fix us dinner for helping. Don't you think we should stay for that?
Probably. I know she wants to thank us, but I'd really rather be with our friends. Man, that's kind of a bummer. I'm super busy every day next week, and I'm gonna visit my auntie on the weekend, so I guess time with our friends is gonna have to wait.
Andy, the rest of us don't have plans for next weekend. Would you be mad if we got together without you?
But you guys would really go hang out without me? I want to be there too.
I know, but sometimes our plans don't always line up and work out the way we want. And you like visiting your aunt.
I know.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're fine.
Okay, I guess.
Andy, why the long face?
Whoa, Sarah. His face is not long. It's round.
Okay, what I meant to say was, why do you look so bummed?
Well, my plans aren't working out the way I want, but I'm trying to feel okay about it.
Well, you know, Andy, Joseph's kind of feeling that way today too. Even though he's in charge of all of Egypt, he still doesn't have control over everything.
Really?
That's a bummer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, are you ready to learn more?
Sure.
Yeah, I am.
"17 years after Joseph's family came to live in Egypt, his father got sick. He was 147 years old. So Joseph went to Goshen to see him. He took his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, with him. When Joseph brought his sons close, Jacob said, 'I never thought I'd see your face again, but now God has let me see your children too.' Then Joseph bowed down with his face to the ground and placed Ephraim near Jacob's left hand and Manasseh near his right. But as Jacob got ready to bless Joseph's sons, he crossed his arms and put his right hand on Ephraim's head, even though Manasseh was the older son. Joseph saw what his father was doing and tried to move his father's hands. But Jacob said, 'I know, my son, I know. He too will become a nation. He too will become great. But his younger brother will be greater than he is. His children after him will become a group of nations.' Then Jacob gave his blessing to Joseph's sons. He asked God to include them in his covenant, that they would continue in the family line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that they would be blessed, that their number would increase greatly on earth, and that they would bless others in God's name. When he was finished, Jacob called together all of his sons and told them what would happen in the days to come. He gave each one a blessing that was just right for him and called them the 12 tribes of Israel. Then Jacob instructed his sons on where to bury him in the land of Canaan. He wanted to be buried with Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah and Leah, in the cave in the field of Ephraim. When he finished saying all this, he pulled up his feet into his bed, took his last breath, and died.
You know, it's kind of sad that Joseph's dad died. I mean, he was 147 years old, which is really old, but it's still sad.
I bet it was, Allie. Remember, Joseph hadn't seen his father in such a long time. So even though they had 17 years together in Egypt, I'm sure it didn't feel like nearly long enough.
Yeah, and being a powerful leader doesn't give anyone control over life and death.
Very true.
And he didn't even have the power over the blessing that his dad gave to his sons. Wasn't it weird that Jacob crossed his arms and gave the best blessing to Ephraim instead of Manasseh?
I'm guessing that's exactly how God wanted it to be.
It probably was, but I bet it wasn't the way their family thought it would go.
True, but then again, Joseph probably spent lots of years thinking that he would never see his family again, or that his father would ever meet his sons, or that his father would ever give his sons a blessing.
That's right. And it sounds like the blessing was pretty special.
It was. See, Joseph's sons had been raised in Egypt as Egyptians, and they were the son of the governor of all of Egypt. They had never lived with their family in Canaan or Goshen, and they were probably very different from their cousins who were shepherds. So when Jacob gave them the blessing, he was including them in the family, and he was extending God's promise to Abraham to them.
That's why the blessing said they would both become great nations.
That's right, Allie.
Gee, it must be hard for Joseph to know that even though he was a powerful leader, there were still things in his life that he had no control over.
You know, Andy, none of us have control over everything in our lives, and we can't make everything go the way that we want them to go. But we can trust that God has a plan and that his plan is perfect. Do you guys remember today's memory verse?
Oh, I do. It's Romans 8:28. We know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him. He appointed them to be saved in keeping with his purpose.
I'm guessing Joseph already believed that verse was true. I mean, God had worked all kinds of things out for his good.
Yes, but there were other people who needed to learn that too.
You mean like his sons?
Yes, and his sons, and his sons' sons, and...
Us! You mean you, me, and Andy. Joseph's story is teaching us about our story. We're supposed to trust that God is always in control and that his plan will be perfect for us.
Even when I'm gonna miss hanging out with all my friends?
Yep, even then.
Besides, Andy, we can still plan that movie night for a day when you get back.
That's true. And maybe the weather will be even better.
Maybe.
Allie, let's go ask my mom about that movie night.
I'm in. Sarah, you wanna come?
Well, that depends.
On what?
Will there be any popcorn?
Oh, Sarah.
All of us want life to go the way that we think is best, right? We want to be happy and we want to get everything we dream of. Nobody wants to go through hard times. But life really isn't up to us. It's up to God, and part of trusting him is believing that he is always in control and that his plan is perfect. This isn't easy, especially when life is hard and chaotic and when we can't see God at work anywhere. So my challenge for you this week is, will you work on trusting God even when his plan is different from yours? Will you pray and talk to him when you want to quit and give up? Will you look for his best and perfect way even though it's not the way you want things to go? Will you guys pray with me? God, we just thank you again that you are good. We pray that you would help us to trust you even when we don't understand your plan. We pray that we would understand that your will is better than ours and that we would fully have faith that you are good. We love you, Jesus. In your name I pray. Amen.
Hey kids, you know what time it is? That's right, it's tool time. Are you ready? Here we go. Question number 1. What was weird about Jacob's blessing to his grandsons? Was it that A, he gave it just before he died? B, he crossed his arms? Or C, he included the boys in the family? Do you have your answer? The answer is B. Jacob crossed his arms and gave the best blessing to the younger grandson. Question number 2, true or not true? God's plans are not always the same as ours. Is this true or not true? The answer is true. God's plan is perfect, but it does not always go the way we want it. Question number 3. Who can learn from Joseph's story? A, you and me. B, his sons and family. Or C, everyone. Do you know which answer is true? This one is a little bit tricky. All the answers are true. We can see in Joseph's story that God is working for his good, just like he'll work for the good of all of those who love him. Great job, everybody. Thanks for playing.
So, none of us is ever in control of everything, and that's a hard lesson for us to learn. But isn't it great that we know God's plans are always perfect? Well, that's all we got for Joseph today, but keep watching if you want to see Sarah's workshop. And rest assured, we're not done learning about Joseph yet, so see you then. Bye!
Hello, I'm Sarah, and this is Sarah's workshop with
Woohoo! John,
John.
I'm here. I was all excited about the submarine trip.
Oh, okay. I think we've had a little bit of breakdown in communication because
Boy.
this is a submarine.
I can still climb in it. No. All right.
Hello and welcome back to the workshop. Today I'm super excited. We're going to be making boxcars or box submarines. Woohoo! So growing up, one of my favorite things to do in the summertime was we do these boxcar movie nights. And so we would pick out a box that we could all fit in, and then we'd decorate them, and then we'd park our cars, boxcars, in front of a huge screen, and we would watch a movie all together. And it was so much fun. It was like going to a drive-in movie, but in your house or at your church. And so the sky's the limit, really. I mean, I've made boxcar like rocket ships. I made a boxcar tank once, which was really cool. And today I made a boxcar submarine because, yes?
Did your whole family fit in that?
No, we each made our own.
Got it.
Yep, each made our own.
That's awesome.
But I made a boxcar submarine because I thought I would talk to my goddaughter's family and see if they wanted to watch Finding Nemo all together. And so I made her a submarine so she could watch Finding Nemo in her underwater vessel.
I love
Me too.
that. Shark Tank.
Okay. Basically, all you guys really need is a box that you can comfortably sit in. Now today, we're gonna be making smaller boxes. I'm gonna make one for my goddaughter's favorite doll so she can watch the movie with her favorite doll. And I think we're gonna make one for John's smallest
Foot.
animal. You have a cat, right?
We do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making one for his cat.
And make one for the cat.
It's happening. So all you guys need is a box you can comfortably fit in. You need paint. You can use either spray paint or regular paint. If you need wheels, paper plates make excellent wheels. Hot glue, you're gonna need a box cutter, potentially, and a paintbrush, and possibly tape.
What are we with the box cutter?
Every single time, what you guys need, most of all, before you do anything, is your
Best attitude.
and parents.
That's right.
So go get your greatest attitude and your awesomest parents and go grab them, make sure that they help you out with the box cutter and this entire project, and then you guys can sit down and watch a movie all together in your boxcars when you're done.
Super awesome.
You ready for this?
Let's
do it. Now the sky's really the limit, so the only limit really is your imagination. So, I mean, you could do boxcar anything. I'm gonna make just a simple little car.
I think I'll make a car too.
So I'm gonna pop one of my flaps out because I'm gonna make a windshield with it. But now I figure out what do I want to paint my boxcar. I think I'm going to make it a blue and orange car.
Mine's gonna have a spoiler.
Ooh.
Give me tape though.
So once you guys pick out your paint colors, then your next task is to paint your car. How are your boxcars coming along? I hope they look as awesome as John and I's do. So you guys keep decorating your boxcars, and when they're all done, hang out as a family, hop in them, and drive into your movie theater.
Mine has a flame.
Cool, John.
Pretty awesome.
Bye!
See you guys.